Good morning. Happy Friday. And I've kind of decided that the Fridays during Lent, I want to go through the Stations of the Cross, not to pray them really, but to meditate on some of them. So today, we're going to go through stations 1 through 4. So the first station is Jesus is condemned to death. Jesus takes death for all of us. And it's really amazing that God would choose to die for each and every one of us. He loves each person individually enough that if you were the only person ever, he would die for you. And he accepts this condemnation of death. He doesn't go, hey, that's not okay. Jesus accepts it. And that's just kind of crazy to think about. Like, he accepts his own death because he loves us and he wants to save us. The second station, Jesus carries his cross. Jesus picks up that cross for each and every one of us. He's carrying that cross so that we can join him. It's just mind blowing sometimes how much the Lord loves us. He picks up that cross and tries his hardest to carry it up the hill, all for us because he loves us. And that can't have been an easy cross to bear, but yet he bore it for all of us. And our crosses, our crosses aren't much when we're compared to his cross that he carried all the way through Jerusalem, through all the jeers, while he was basically bleeding to death. He carried that cross, and that's amazing. The third station, Jesus falls the first time. He falls, but he gets back up. That's the craziest part of the whole thing. He could have stayed down. He didn't. He rose back up. He kept going because he had a mission, and that mission was to save us. And it's just kind of crazy to think about sometimes the lengths God went to save us. And he sent his son, the Son of God, God himself, God incarnate in Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ preached. He told us what we had to do to get to heaven. And then he was condemned to death. He took up his cross and he started carrying it. And he fell for us. But it's not just in falling. He got back up and he kept going. That's the part that's just crazy to some of us. Because we think if we fall, sometimes it's okay, I fell, I'm done. I give up. But God didn't give up. He never gives up. He kept going. And that's beautiful, really, to think about, that we have that example to keep going, to persevere, that even if we fall, it's not the end. So Jesus gets up and he continues to walk. The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. It's always been real hard and crazy for me to imagine this station of the cross. I always think of it from Mary's point of view. She's seeing her beloved boy, her child, and he's beaten and he's bloody and he's carrying a cross and he just fell down. And she, oh my gosh, as a mother, she had to see her son fall, her son being beaten. She had to experience all of these things that Christ went through. And it's just crazy to think that Our Lady saw it all. And she saw her bruised and beaten and bloody son crowned with thorns. And she still didn't stop him from what he was doing. She's I just imagine her looking at him going, it's okay. If this is what you're doing, I'm with you. And if this is the path that you need to do to save them, I'm not going to stop you. And that part has always been crazy to think about, because we don't often want to think of the mothers encouraging their children to do things that are hard for them, to do things that are dangerous and leading to their death. But that's what Mary does. She trusts God enough that she's giving up her son, who is God incarnate. And that's just mind-boggling sometimes. So today, if you can't pray the whole Stations of the Cross, at least meditate on the first 4, which is what I did today, and just Just think of that. Like God loves us so much that he'd go through each and every one of those stations for you if you were the only person on the world. Thank you so much for joining me. Good afternoon, DC in UK, right? Have a great day and try to just like, I don't want to say enjoy this Friday, but use it as a time of prayer because that's what Fridays are for during Lent is really to days of penance, days to reflect on what God did for us. So God bless.